It was late in the evening, and the smell of leftover coffee still lingered in the room. We had been sitting across from each other for almost an hour without saying much. I could tell she was thinking about something important, because her fingers kept tapping lightly on the armrest of the couch. I had been avoiding her eyes, partly because I didn't want to face whatever was coming, and partly because I already knew. When she finally spoke, her voice was steady but distant, like she was reading from a script she'd rehearsed many times. "I can't be with someone with no future," she said. Each word landed like a small stone dropped in water, sending ripples through me. I didn't ask what she meant. I already understood. She was tired of waiting for my life to take off. Tired of my uncertain jobs, my small paychecks, and my endless promises of just a little longer. I didn't argue. I didn't try to tell her about the interviews I'd gone to, the sleepless nights planning for something better, or the dreams I kept locked away so no one could laugh at them. I just said, okay. Not because it didn't hurt, but because I realized that nothing I could say would change her decision. She stood up and went to the bedroom, her footsteps soft but quick, like she wanted to leave before the weight of what she'd said caught up to her. I watched her gather her clothes, fold them neatly, and place them in her suitcase. She moved around the room without looking at me, as if eye contact might pull her back into the life she was choosing to leave. She took her favorite sweater, the one I bought her during our first winter together. She took the framed photo from the shelf, the one from our trip to the mountains. She even took the mug she always used for tea, wrapping it in a scarf before putting it into her bag. When she was done, she stood by the door for a moment, holding the handle but not turning it. Then she placed her apartment key on the table, next to the half-empty cup of coffee she'd made earlier. She didn't say goodbye. She just stepped out into the hallway, the sound of her footsteps fading until all I could hear was the rain outside. I went to the window and watched her walk down the street under the dim glow of the streetlights. She opened her umbrella, the black fabric blooming above her like a shadow. She didn't look back. That night, the apartment felt quieter than it had ever been. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about her words. No future. Maybe she was right. Maybe I'd been stuck for too long, waiting for something to change without pushing hard enough to make it happen. But as I lay there, a strange sense of calm began to replace the heaviness in my chest. The next morning I got up earlier than usual. The sunlight was weak, but it spilled into the kitchen in a way that made the place feel different. Emptier, yes, but also full of possibilities. I made coffee, sat at the table, and opened my laptop. I started making a list. Not for her, not to prove her wrong, but for myself. Things I wanted to do, goals I needed to chase, steps I could take right now. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was moving forward. Losing her wasn't the end. It was just the moment my life stopped waiting and finally began.
Please subscribe, share, and like. Please subscribe, share, and like. Please subscribe, share, and like.